Welcome to the Omnipodcast. Today we will be covering diabetes and disaster planning. My name is Jenna Kalnins, and I'm a Regional Clinical Manager with Insulet. Each year, millions face disaster. Disaster can strike at any time and anywhere. Therefore, it's a good practice to always be prepared. Regardless how big or small the disaster, survival is based on preparation. Disasters can be hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, tornadoes, ice storms, hazardous spills, or even acts of terrorism. For people living with type 1 diabetes, preparation is even more important. Access to insulin, food, and other medications is a necessity for survival. Therefore, making a plan and ensuring your survival kit is stocked will lessen the stress associated with any disaster. Rely on yourself first, individuals or agencies second. Shelters may be full, supplies may run short, there may be limited communication and no access to phones. There may be no power or clean water supply, and you may have limited access to health care. So know your resources. Your plan should include shelter or evacuation plans and location, water with up to a 30-day supply per person, non-refrigerated foods, some that do not require water. You can always check out your local camping store for supplies, and medications. Always have an emergency kit ready to go. This can be a large rubber container, which should also include important family documents. Some key considerations for people living with diabetes are medical care. Remember, a disaster is a very stressful event. Stress can elevate blood glucose. Therefore, planning can help reduce this stress. Stress can include separation from family or pets, concern for your home, concern for well-being, or frustration of returning to normal. It can even include depression. Include items to relieve stress in your kit. These can be reading materials, games, or even your favorite toy. Get back to basics. Always maintain an updated list of your medical records. This should include, but not be limited to, an updated list of your medical conditions and prior surgeries, a list of all your contact information including your healthcare provider, resources for shelters, and other needs based on individual acute health needs, for example, if you're on oxygen or dialysis. Make sure that all your immunizations are updated, including tetanus, and always have a copy of advance directives and medical authorizations on hand. Another key consideration for people with diabetes is medication. Remember, insulin may be stored at room temperature for up to 28 days. Insulin pens can be used and stored at room temperature according to manufacturer's directions. Insulin should not be exposed to excessive light, heat, or cold. Regular insulin in Lantus should be clear. NPH should be cloudy before rotating. Insulin that clumps or sticks to the side of a bottle should not be used. Never share syringes with other people, but in a life and death situation, you can reuse them yourself. Remember to know your insulin and which are acceptable substitutions for your brand. Monitoring is another consideration. The same rules apply. Try to avoid extreme temperatures. Always have a 30-day reserve of glucose testing supplies. This should include lancets, strips, extra batteries, ketone testing strips, alcohol wipes, bandages, cotton swabs, and even a sharps container. Always have a blood glucose log on hand to keep record of your blood sugars. Lastly is nutrition. Shelters may not be able to accommodate special dietary needs. They may have limited supplies or specific meal times, and you may have the inability to cook. When planning for food supplies, think carbs and protein. Carbs can include crackers, canned fruits, powdered milk, pretzels, dry cereals, diet and regular juices, and even canned vegetables. Proteins include peanut butter, nuts, canned tuna, chicken, salmon, or even jerky. When thinking of mixed foods, you can include soups, pasta meals, camping meals, and other dehydrated food items. Always make sure to have hard candies or glucose tabs on hand to treat lows, and replenish your supplies every year. In conclusion, here are a list of resources available to you in times of disaster. FEMA, the American Red Cross, Centers for Disease Control, and the National Hurricane Center. All these agencies can be found on the internet. For comments, questions, or to get in touch with your local Omnipod team, visit us at myomnipod.com or email us at podcast@insulet.com. Thank you.